Today we are going to hear from a truly phenomenal woman, a global speaker. She's the Group Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Fidelity Bank PLC. Mama, hold on, ma. Hold on, ma. Now, she joined the bank in 2015 as an executive director and was appointed MD CEO in January 2021. And now, if you calculate, that's a position that she has held for 5 years. Now, aside all of this, I would like to add, she's a woman of many firsts. First this, first that. The first female managing director and chief executive officer in the history of Fidelity Bank PLC. In 2023, she guided the bank to obtain the approval of the Central Bank of Nigeria to expand its operations to the United Kingdom. And now they acquired the former Union Bank UK, now Fidelity Bank UK Limited. She led the Fidelity Bank to create the Fidelity International Trade and Creative Connect, which is aimed at providing a touch point for exporters, regulators, and subject matter experts in the market. Now, in 2023, to show how philanthropic she is, she's so driven by humanity that she led the launch of the Fidelity Food Bank that provides free food bags to Nigerians on a monthly basis. No. This is truly inspiring. She has numerous awards and recognitions to her name, and just about a week ago, she emerged the winner of the African Iconic Banker of the Year. She keeps shattering ceilings and breaking walls and showing us that truly you can be whatever it is you want to be once you set your heart to it. And we're truly honored to have her give us the only keynote address at Violet's for Her 2026. Ladies and ladies, what else can I say? What more can I add? Give a generous, lusty, roaring, deserving applause to this woman that is truly phenomenal in every sense of the word, beautiful at heart, beautiful in brains, a leader par excellence, an entrepreneur to the core. Please celebrate her. Give her a round of applause. The beautiful Dr. Nneka Onyeali-Ikpe, OON, GMD, and the CEO of Fidelity Bank PLC. But my voice is loud enough. Can you hear me? Are you sure? At the back? Okay, fine. I don't like to go. Okay, thank you very much, the organizers of this program, Violet for Her, for inviting me to this session. It's truly a very inspirational session, and that's why I accepted to do it. Because, being a woman in Nigeria, you're dealing with so many things. Not to discourage you, but you're dealing with so many things. So from day one, you have to be determined to succeed. This is not working. You have to determine personally to surmount every challenge that you meet on your way climbing the ladder. And that determination for me is telling yourself that no stopping, girl. Nobody's going to stop me. But you have to be very that they pull you down. But you can get them to where you want them to be. You can get them to where you want them to be without saying so much. So I want to thank the organizers for this, and the theme today is build, leverage, and multiply. And for me, like I said, you have to be very deliberate in doing things in a very organized manner. I think I've stepped aside from protocol, but I can see she's not here. I was supposed to welcome the Honorable Minister, but she's not here yet.
and then the rest of the team, the management of partners, and of course, ladies and gentlemen. This forum is so important because it calls women to honest conversations and growth and long-term impact. The theme, like I said, multiply, build, leverage, and multiply, because it is practical, honest, and reminds us of the opportunities that are rare. Even if it's a brick or a lever or a seed, opportunities always come unannounced, but it is also for those who are prepared to seize the moment. And I have an adage or a saying that I always remind myself in every situation, which is that for fortune favors only the brave. And courage is 70% of leadership. Where 49% of the country of Nigerians are women, yet they will rather, I don't want to call them our competitors, but our partners in this life journey in Nigeria, which are the men, they would rather that they soar and they'll keep you muted. Don't allow yourself to be muted. You have to show what you are made of. And how do you show that? You have to be deliberate in your preparation for everything that you do. Even if it takes all your time, you need to. And the more challenging thing is that women wear 3 caps in life, generally. Most women, which is one, a wife, then a mother, then a career woman. Those are three caps that can keep anybody busy 24/7. But you are expected as a woman to carry the 3 of them and wear them very well. So what does this do? First of all, you take it with grace. You deliberately be happy and joyful about it. Because being motherhood, I'm sure all of you know, is the best thing that happened to life. Okay, so don't grieve about the challenges that come with it. Because doing banking work and managing the home and managing the husband, those things are very challenging. But you need the husband for the children, probably, maybe not, sometimes. Then you definitely need children. Then you need a career to make sure that your life is good. Why? Because we need to always grow and in our career, and of course afford our bills by ourselves. Okay, so I want to skew a little bit from the topic on the today. I want to speak more to the idea of empowering yourself. Because if you empower yourself, you are able to build, you're able to leverage, and you're able to multiply. I want to welcome our delectable minister. You're most welcome, madam. Welcome. So you are able to build, you are able to multiply, to leverage and able to multiply if you empower yourself. So I recall when I was appointed executive director along with some other board members to transform a bank. It was a pivotal moment for me, but an opportunity to reposition myself, to reposition an ailing institution. But the opportunity is always dressed with a lot of problems. It looked impossible, it looked challenging and all of that. And it needed a lot of hard work and intellectual rigor. But however, we were determined to succeed and we succeeded. And that also led to several other things that happened in the career. So we must always seize opportunities when we see it. And along the way, we multiply them. We need to always understand the interplay of power, choice, and impact, as all of them are abstract ideas. But they are decisions you have to make daily to be able to move forward. These small decisions, but repeated decisions, are all what you weave your life. And like I always say, the less the noise, the better. You go through all these challenges, but you must reduce the noise if you're going to be able to. Well, some other people have a different approach, but the approach that worked for me is to reduce the noise. Because when you make noise, your competitors, you know who I call a competitor, they will pounce on you and kill you before you even resurrect. So it's better that you take them unawares, which is to deliberately plan your strategy, quietly execute, and before they get to mute you, you've already excelled. Okay, so it's important. The greatest power any woman can have is that power of choice. Your choices, like I said, as a signpost of the future, which can make you or mar you So if you decide to spend your time fighting with people all over the whole place, it's your choice, but I can tell you that choice has not benefited a lot of people. What has shown power and strength and strategy is when you play the woman card, keep quiet, and deliberately do what you need to do. Before they realize where they are, you've already crossed the line. Okay, so it's very important that you recognize that the future more than the present. Your choices must be of impact more than comfort. Your choice, I had a choice to leave an international bank to go to a local bank, and I did that, and it paid off at the end of the day. It was a challenge at that time to make that decision, but I did. So many people think that power arrives when you are an executive director or an MD. No. Power is not a position, it is a practice. It's something you practice every day, and you take responsibility before you even feel ready for it. It is the discipline of preparing when nobody's watching, which I already spoke to, and the courage to be seen, to be learning and relearning, and always empowering yourself. You know, maybe now you are very lucky. You have AI, you have internet. During our own time, we had to dig into the books to get things, information out. But for you, it's just one click away. So you have no reason whatsoever to go to an event or to go to a program and you have not done your research. It's just sheer laziness. And laziness does not go well with what we're talking about today, building yourself, leveraging and multiplying. I'm not speaking to the financial part of it. I'm speaking to power, how to empower yourself as a woman, and how to make sure, because when you do that, all other things fall in place. All other things fall in place. So power, like we said, is also begins with ownership. So you have to own every situation that you find yourself in. You have to own it and deliberately dimension, what do I have to do in this to succeed? So it's more or less like a research. So after you've done that research, then you deliberately take it one after the other. You know, so you have to own your voice. You have to own your choices, like I said. In truth, every woman can learn. You can learn and relearn anything that you want, including becoming a financial expert. I'm a lawyer, but I'm a managing director of a bank. So you can imagine the amount of work that I had to do to cut over. And I determined that I was going to succeed with it. So when I come to meetings and I'm asking the right question, they don't know that I kept awake all night to get the questions to ask, because you must ask the right questions when you're on the table. I'm sure Madam can speak to this for me. If you don't ask the right question, the men will laugh at you. And they are ready to laugh at you, so you should make sure that you disappoint them. Okay? So knowledge is everything. It's not about how good or how well dressed or how much you are. It's not about that. It's about the knowledge. In fact, the better you look, the more they expect you not to be able to know anything. So that is why it's good to disappoint them by making sure that you are packed with knowledge. And you must not go to a place. The only thing you do for me today, because I had to forget all the other things to come here. Make sure you don't go to any event, any program, anything that you're expected to be in a program and to offer a view without researching that particular thing. It doesn't matter whether you know about it. It doesn't matter whether it's leverage financing. It doesn't matter whether it's what is happening between America and whatever. Find out the reason for the problem. So when you go there as a woman, before they say 1, you say 2 and 3. When they say 4, you say 5 and 6. So you must be visible. It must be visible. I'm sure Madam is going to speak more about that because she's inside the mix of all of this. So it's not easy. So there are a lot of no's in your career. So what type of no is it? You cannot walk away from a proposal, and you must meet all your targets. Every target that you have to meet it. Okay? So impact, like I said, the power that you build around you is what gives you impact. And you must not leave a room without making an impact as you're growing. You must. You must make sure that your impact is the woman who applies everything, because you don't allow yourself to be mocked at your first attempt. And in any case, there'll be accidents. There'll be times when you don't do so well. But you just rise above it and move on. Okay? Because as a young professional, you will definitely have issues here and there. But don't let that be a stopper for you. Okay? So, like I said, you need to build and leverage and multiply, because impact is of multiplication. It will help you with the multiplication. So you need to build your capacity, you will leverage your networks and multiply your opportunities. Like I said, I'm not speaking to the finance part of it, because once you've done the foundation right, all other things will follow. Okay? we don't need to tell you that if you are investing, that you need to invest and spread your investment across different platforms so that if anyone is not doing well, you can deal with the other one. There are times when the stock market does not do well. It will now be other investment that you've made in treasury bills. It will be other investment that you've made in fixed deposits. The rates are high at that time. But sometimes the rates also collapse like it has collapsed now. And so they have to spread your investment so you don't get caught up with in between a dying sector. You understand? So because you have it's all spread out, you are able to recover from the ones that are doing well. Okay, so you also need to ensure that your investments are well protected. They have to be well protected. Why am I saying this? You have to also research very well of where you are investing. It's very important because you don't want the little that you have gathered after this hard work for it to go into some Ponzi program. You don't want to get involved in all of that. All those things are created and make they look good, but inside it there's no depth. So you want to work with properly put together institutions like this who have proven over time that they know what they're doing and there's the credibility and integrity around whatever proposal that they're selling. Okay, like in our bank, in Fidelity Bank, we're focused on making sure that we provide financial support and business education for women. Entrepreneurship, we encourage them on all of that. And of course, for health and well-being benefits tailored for Nigerian women at various stages of their life. And because we believe very strongly in mentorship, we have a hub, an SME hub, where we train women on all manner of things, and it's free, completely free. Have them register. You come to learn every art, any kind of art that you want. If it's hairdressing, if it's makeup. You know, people think that these things are money. This SME, I've come to realize that there's a lot of money in it. Because I was speaking to my tailor and she needed a loan of 10 million. So I told her, what's your turnover like? She told me her turnover is 100 million. I almost fainted in a month. So come think about it. When I consider what she charges me, I can imagine that is correct. Okay, so I don't know why anybody will say that they don't have a career, they don't have something to do in Nigeria. The population alone has provided us with everything you need. So if anybody is complaining, the person doesn't want to think. When my daughter was cutting over from the Nigerian curriculum to British curriculum, she attended one lesson in Lekki here. And I just told her, I told the lesson man, no, she doesn't have time, just go ahead, do everything you can. They worked all day. She would normally go at about 9 and come back at about maybe 4. And less than 2 weeks after, he sent me a bill of 1.4 million. I almost fainted. Because I didn't negotiate, because I didn't expect it to be that high. When he finished punching the numbers for me, that's what he came to. I had to start begging for him to bring down the price. Of course, I can't do anything less because he'll carry me to the internet. Do you understand? So, there's a position you'll be in. You don't want to quarrel with anybody because they know what to do. So I had to negotiate. Eventually, we didn't go below 1.2 million for 2 weeks. And I'm telling you, this is a real story. For 2 weeks in Lekki there. I don't want to mention his name. Okay, so he did a good job, no doubt, because he was able to cut over, but not for the kind of price. What I'm trying to say is that there is so much industry, there's so much to do in Nigeria. We are blessed as a country with so much. Okay, so anybody who is saying that they cannot build, they cannot leverage or multiply, the person is lying to herself. They're just lazy. Sorry that I'm being so harsh, but they're just lazy. Because the girl who does my makeup, I know how much she goes away with every time. And sometimes because of the number of events I have to go to, she probably visits me like 4 or 5 times in a month. Multiply it just for me alone. And I know she probably, because even to get her appointment is a problem. So she must have like 10 other people like me who she's serving. So I'm sure that the lady does not have anything less than 50 million turnover in a month. So if you have 50 million and your carrying cost is 20 million, you have 30 million in your pocket. And so anybody who says they don't know how to build, leverage and multiply is lying to themselves. They probably are one of those people who want to depend on men. I can tell you that era is gone. It's gone. It's far gone. So my view is that as I close my presentation today, I expect that the speakers coming after me will delve into the nitty-gritty of investment. Mine is to give an overview and to encourage you that you own yourself. You have the power to make yourself. Only you, nobody can do it for you. That impact, only you can make it. Only you can make it. If you make a deliberate decision to push yourself forward, nobody's going to push you forward. You have to make sure that you have impact in every room that you get into. So like I said, thank you very much. And I would like to